Hi guys! Today I'm going to review these cheap Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons I got online. Let's get started. The box contains the left and right Joy-Cons, a grip for the two Joy-Cons, straps, a USB connector, and the user manual. Comparing this cheap Joy-Con to the original Joy-Con, right away we'll notice that they differ in their appearance. Here are the things I noticed comparing the appearance of the Joy-Cons. The cheap Joy-Con has a curved side, while the original is flat. The cheap Joy-Cons has a curved back, and the original is flat. I also noticed that there is a USB port on the side of the cheap Joy-Cons. According to the manual, which came with the Joy-Con, the USB port is for updating the system of the controller. The buttons also differ in shape. The cheap Joy-Con has an oval shape A, B, X, Y buttons, while the original has circular ones. The joystick of the cheap Joy-Con has a flat surface, while the official Nintendo Switch Joy-Con has a curved surface. The cheap Joy-Con does not have an IR sensor. One good thing about this cheap Joy-Con is that when you slide it on the Nintendo Switch, the cheap Joy-Con gets recognized right away and it also charges. When you charge the Nintendo Switch while the cheap Joy-Cons are connected, you will notice that their LEDs flashes. The cheap Joy-Cons felt easier to hold because of its curved design. If you want to use the cheap Joy-Con away from the Nintendo Switch, you just have to press the buttons just like the original and it will connect automatically. It connects almost as fast as the official Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, just 1 second slower. The cheap Joy-Cons also display what your player number is, just like the original. Pressing the buttons felt the same for the cheap and the original Joy-Con, except for the plus and home button, which were slightly harder to press. The joystick felt slightly harder to use on the cheap Joy-Con because your thumb slides on its flat surface. The curved surface of the joystick of the original Joy-Con made it easier to control because it adds additional grip for your thumb. The rumble and the motion control of the cheap Joy-Con was very much similar to the original Joy-Con. To test the motion controls and the rumble, I played Super Mario Party. We'll notice that the motion controls of the cheap Joy-Con is almost as accurate with the original Joy-Cons. But I noticed when making fast movements, the cheap Joy-Con is not as sensitive. In my opinion, this Joy-Con really exceeded my expectations. It almost works the same as the original one. Most of the time, I feel like I'm using an original Joy-Con. So if you want a Joy-Con that actually works and want to save money, this cheap Joy-Con is a great alternative for the official Nintendo Switch Joy-Con. I hope you guys liked this video and thank you very much for watching.